of the Lord be with you. A very warm welcome to PCGTV News. This bulletin is live from our studio, Church House, Osu, Accra. In the headlines, Apenkwa District hosts Gan West Presbytery's second evangelism consultation. Reverend Benjamin Appiah calls on Presbyterians to build faithfully on Christ, the true foundation. And also, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry President urges government to wage relentless war on Galamsey to protect local industries. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Georgette Anane. The news in details continues after the break. Welcome back from the break. Now the news in details. The Apenkwa District of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana has hosted the second evangelism consultation of the Gan West Presbytery, a key gathering under the church's nationwide evangelism and discipleship initiative, Agenda 2 Million. The consultation, held from October 21 to 23, 2025, at the Eternity Congregation Apenkwa, brought together district ministers, session clerks, and lay representatives to deliberate on the theme, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana's strategic plan in Agenda 2 Million and planting of 1,000 churches, Matthew chapter 28, verse 18 to 20. Delivering the national presentation, the National Director of Mission and Evangelism, Reverend Dr. E.K. Saba, reaffirmed the church's bold vision of reaching 2 million active members and planting 1,000 new congregations across its 21 presbyteries by 2028.
Be self-sustaining and a growing church. So we, as a church, when we produce this material, we must also link this to our vision. So the vision of Agenda 2 Million, achieving 2 million members by 2028. So it is in line with our vision to be a growing church. Our membership as of 2018 to 2019 was around 945,015 when Papa Mante took over. 945,015. So before he left, we had almost reached 1.4, 1.3 plus. So now our membership is about 1.5. That is a growing church. Hello. So clap for your church, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. We have at least we are doing well.
He emphasized that Agenda 2 Million is not simply a numerical target, but a holistic spiritual and structural renewal drive. Each member is expected to win at least one soul for Christ annually, Reverend Dr. Saba stated. Through this shared commitment, we can grow both spiritually and numerically while remaining faithful to the Great Commission. Quoting Article 30, Clause 15 of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana Constitution, he reminded participants that the Mission and Evangelism Department is mandated to evolve innovative strategies to sustain evangelism and mission both locally and abroad. Outlining the goals of Agenda 2 Million, Reverend Dr. Saba mentioned that the initiative seeks to mobilize every member for active evangelism, plant 1,000 new congregations by 2028, strengthen discipleship and leadership training, provide resources, logistics, and facilities for church growth, reach over 700,000 people with the gospel message. He called for renewed unity, innovation, and spiritual commitment across presbyteries, adding that the success of the vision depends on teamwork and faithfulness to the church's core values of discipline, integrity, humility, and godly leadership. Also addressing the gathering, Reverend Dr. Kofi Amfo Akono District Minister of Sakaman, spoke on the role of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana Discipleship Manual in nurturing spiritual maturity. He described the manual as a structured tool for spiritual formation that focuses on salvation, prayer, stewardship, and fellowship. Discipleship is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey of growth and accountability, he noted. Through mentoring and practical witness, we equip believers to live faithfully and serve effectively. Both speakers underscored the need to empower lay leaders with sound doctrine and leadership skills to ensure consistency in teaching and preserve Presbyterian identity. The Directorate of Mission and Evangelism announced upcoming national evangelism campaigns and training workshops to support presbyteries in achieving their set targets. In closing, Reverend Dr. Saba encouraged all members to rise to the challenge of Agenda 2 Million. The event ended with renewed zeal among participants to strengthen evangelism and church planting across the Ghana West Presbytery and beyond.
It has been very wonderful. I'm saying that it's very wonderful because for the first time this year, we managed to bring the guru of the gurus, those who actually understand what the strategic plan is expecting of us in terms of evangelism and our other activities that goes into the ranking of every presbytery. And after that, when we started the presentation, we could see that the numbers were just flowing and flowing and flowing. Graciously, we have able to develop a loophole to sometimes when those in the city go to the village to help them establish the congregations, they don't bring us the numbers. Those in the village too do not bring us the numbers. And so even though we have the numbers are left unaccounted for. Graciously this year, we have been able to plug that hole, and we are very happy and sure that our numbers will be very appreciative this year to the glory of God. We continue today with the entire head office staff, headed by the National Director, Mission and Evangelism. And he has actually given us the latest infos about all evangelistic activities, booklets, manuals, and other things that have been produced by the church. And so I'm saying that indeed, this year, we have been very, very, very much been enriched. And we are grateful to the Lord.
The chairperson of the Bronga Hafo Presbytery of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Reverend Benjamin Appiah, has urged members of the church to remain steadfast in Christ, describing him as the defining foundation of the Presbyterian heritage and the cornerstone of the church's continued growth and witness. He made this call during the third session of the 2025-2026 Ecclesiastical Year Zonal Thematic Reflection of the Bechem Zone, held at the Good Shepherd Congregation, Bechem. The gathering brought together ministers, catechists, lay preachers, district executives, and other church leaders for a time of reflection, learning, and rededication to God's mission. Speaking on the theme, Celebrating Our Heritage, Building on the Foundation Already Laid, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 11, Reverend Appiah reminded participants that the true strength of the Presbyterian Church lies not in its infrastructure or long history, but in its unshakable foundation in Jesus Christ. Our heritage is not only reflected in tangible infrastructure, but also in the core values of discipline, integrity, moral principles, and hard work, all of which are embodied in Jesus Christ, he emphasized. Reverend Appiah explained that Christ is not only the foundation upon which the church was built, but continues to be the cornerstone of its mission today. He cautioned that the church must be careful how it builds upon this foundation, calling on members to use quality materials symbolizing faithfulness, humility, integrity, and service in their Christian life and ministry. We have inherited a church that is Christ-centered, reformed, and still reforming, he said. As we build upon this foundation, we must ask ourselves, what kind of church are we leaving behind? He further encouraged the congregation to move beyond mere celebration of the church's history and actively live out the gospel through compassion, service, and Christ-like character. The reflection served as both a spiritual renewal and a reaffirmation of the Presbyterian Church's mission to uphold its Christ-centered identity while preparing future generations to continue building faithfully on the foundation already laid.
Yes. Jesus Christ is the foundation. There is no other foundation. There will be no other foundation. None. You didn't almost say. I faith. Now what faith ni ya dabaya? Asumiyega. Dabaya na hu isa. I faith na mehunu. Udi enu hu ni dabaya. Na de ba ko a unyina se ho na wo ka ho ase wo se efititi na ewo ho na wan hu nyina so no wo bia be Yesu akuro mu ayade en wo ka kire wo enye na wo no nko a na ni wo ewo aseni ane so ni wo ewo aseni ane so ne soriye ena ema hu no odwom no ba ko no we say wo dwom no ba ko no ya na yeto ya na woda.
Now, the president of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, GNCCI, Mr. Stephen Miesan, has called on the government to intensify the fight against illegal mining, also known as galamsey, describing it as a grave threat to Ghana's sustainable development, local industries, and environmental stability. Speaking at the 49th Annual General Meeting of the Chamber, held at the Ghana Shippers House Ridge, under the theme, Strengthening Local Business for Sustainable Growth and Development, Mr. Miezan said the destruction of farmlands, forests, and water bodies by illegal miners continues to undermine industrial growth, particularly in agriculture, manufacturing, and tourism. He urged government to wage a relentless war against galamsey and to implement stricter enforcement measures to protect natural resources that are vital to Ghana's economic future. No country can build a sustainable economy while destroying the very environment that supports production, he stressed. Our local industries depend on clean water, fertile lands, and a stable climate. Galamsey is not only an environmental crime, it is an economic one.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's one thorny issue that I want to take the opportunity to speak about. And this has to do with illegal mining. It's rather unfortunate that the minister herself is not here, but I believe that the representative will get a message to the minister and the president will know. I think the fight for illegal mining, as we call galamsey, is long overdue. We have always been fighting. I think that it's about time we wage a war against illegal mining. And as we know, on the field of war, it's either you die or you kill somebody. So we want to call upon the government to wage a war on illegal mining. In war and then in war zones, either they shoot you or you shoot. We believe that if war is not waged on illegal mining, we as the living will not be able to live anything meaningful to the unborn. We want to call upon the president to take a strong stance against illegal mining. And we believe that if it is war, then either you are shot or you shoot. The government needs to take steps to eradicate this menace from our society. On fiscal measures, we want to urge the government to maintain its fiscal discipline, to avoid future reliance on IMF credit facilities, whose reform measures often burden businesses.
The GNCCI president reaffirmed the chamber's commitment to championing policies that support responsible resource management, entrepreneurship, and industrial growth. He emphasized that government and the private sector must work together to create a business environment that promotes innovation, sustainability, and ethical practices. Delivering the keynote address, Madame Efia Anochewa, Managing Director of Great Anaporium, echoed the president's sentiment, urging business leaders to prioritize sustainability in their operations. She highlighted that resilient local industries can only thrive in an environment that values resource protection and long-term planning. The meeting brought together business executives, policymakers, and development partners who deliberated on practical strategies for strengthening local enterprises, enhancing competitiveness, and promoting sustainable growth across all sectors of the economy. PCGTV Spotlight continues after the break. Welcome back from the break. PCGTV Spotlight is up next with Reverend Superintendent Jonas Amwa Bequin of the Ghana Police Church Odoko.
Adesua ewo homa nipa nyina nye nipa ekɔ school enko a ede kyerɛ sɛ wo a ɔmo akɔkora ɛsɛ osua sɛnea ɔbɛyɛ ɔneɛma ɔnkɔkora bom ɔmmerɛ wa bom wunyini mu wawo mu wasetena mu sɛ neɛma nkɔ yi a sɛ neɛma kɔ yi a sɛ ahokyerɛ ba adesua de ne nkora bata ɛdɔɔso ɛnyɛ wɔne ekɔ school nko a enti adesua de baako a ɛyan Ghana man nyinaa kɔ mu ɛne the menace of Galamsey. The ingredients in your home that you're using today, the ingredients that you may be using within the week and beyond, you have no knowledge of the source. It might happen that even the water that you bath your body with, that flows on your body and will surely fall on your eye and your mouth, will get into your bloodstream, and it might come from a Galamsey or dangerous chemical infested waters, and it may have lasting effect on the human life of our country, the people of our country. So please, let us not just do something to represent solution. Let us not be always saying SSA, and so yenye she. Akwadane kontonkrowi a eda yen nyina komu. Empanyin amanyofo asofo nipa nyina mfa ye ho nyim. Na se yebe yi ohaw na firi ho a yenyi.
This is where we end the PCGTV news. A recap of the headlines. Apenkwa District hosts Gan West Presbytery's second evangelism consultation. Reverend Benjamin Appiah calls on Presbyterians to build faithfully on Christ, the true foundation. And also, the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry President urges government to wage relentless war on Galamsey to protect local industries. We are grateful for your time with us today. My name is Georgette Anane. Do have a great day and enjoy the rest of our programs.